All right, so what we're going to see now is the use of the Object Mask tool. So I've got two layers here in my sequence, and we can scrub and see that this lady is in the first, or video layer 2 at the top of the stack. And if I toggle that, we can see some stock photography beneath. It's just a still image right there. So what we want to do is create an object mask and track it across all frames in order to have a really effective little mask that we can then add her into this scene. So to do that, we're going to use the new Object Mask tool, and you can find that down below here. It's between the hand tool and the rectangle tool. And it's right up top. Object Mask tool. Notice that it is existing. It lives within all of the mask tools here. So you've got your basic traditional shape masks and the pen mask and so on. I'm going to choose, of course, Object Mask tool. And how this works is basically very similar to object selection inside of Photoshop. So if I hover over here, I can make sure to click on that one. And notice, look at that. I've got her hat I can mask. I've got her form. So I'm going to click on her form here. And that will select it. And then I can also click on her hat. And now you can see everything is highlighted in red. And you can change that. So if we look over here, we've got the ability to add to object. We can subtract from object. And we can even use the lasso or rectangle tool to, better select things. This determines exactly how things are going to look. So since she's wearing red already, the red overlay is kind of hard to see. So we could choose something else like green or even black and white. So we can see that mask. Now, if we move, we can see the mask just stays exactly where it is, right? So this is where we need to look over at our Effect Controls panel. And of course, I'm in the Essentials workspace, which has Effect Controls open by default. It's alongside the Properties panel. And we can see there's an unassigned mask. And let's twirl these down a bit. We have an unassigned mask, and it's just object mask, right? So inside of here, we have our little tracking controls, of course. So we can track forward, we can track backwards, and this is going to use AI. All this uses AI to figure out exactly how it should track this. So I'm going to go ahead and track backwards. And it shouldn't take too long to do this. You can see it's now initializing. And there it goes. And it's doing an amazing job at this. Let's go ahead and shift back over here and track ahead. You can see it's inserting little keyframes all across that tracker. So these are all little keyframes here. And of course, now if we scrub, we can see how nicely that mask is created. Let's switch it back to that red overlay. And just like a normal mask, we're going to be able to go through and assign this mask to any other property. I want to assign it to opacity. So I'm going to just drag it down into opacity. And now we can see the effects of our mask here. So let's lock down our layers. And I don't want to see any masking anymore. Let's put that to none. And then if we play this back, so we probably want to match the motion of the background to the camera shake that's going on there. But yeah, otherwise it's working like really, really good. And usually you'd have to go into Adobe After Effects to do something like this, right? But we don't have to do that here. Now, one thing I will note is we probably do want to, do some additional effects on here in terms of color grading so that she matches the rest of the background. And to do that is pretty easy. We can just go into, Lumetri color right here. And we could go into our effects as well. Let's go into the effects panel. Now remember, we have an effects panel and an effect controls panel. So the effect controls allow you to control effects, the properties of effects. The effects panel on this side allows you to find and apply effects. So some of these effects, things like Lumetri presets, we could use to do some color grading. There are also, inside of our video effects, there are image control effects and adjustment effects. So yeah, maybe I'll use the Lumetri preset on this. I'm not sure really which one to use. Let's choose something cinematic. And it gives us a little preview here, which is nice. So maybe Cinespace 50 faded. Let's go ahead and drop it right on there. And then we'll make some adjustments to it. So inside of here, we now have this effect for Lumetri color. And we can do our basic corrections here. We can assign a LUT to it if we wanted to. We can auto color it. Now intensity determines, right, how intense it's going to be. And it's hard to see here. Maybe if I go into Lumetri color, do I get some additional stuff? Yeah. So here, if I go up top, I can see that Cinespace is set there. And I can make all these adjustments in a better way, right? If I'm in effect controls, it's kind of sketchy. It's not as useful. But I can go in and make these changes, and you can see how it affects her. And I'm not really liking this Cinespace here. Let's actually clear that out. And we'll just manually go in and change some things. I'm going to take the temperature down a bit. Look at that. That's all I really needed to do. Maybe increase the contrast. And the shadows. Blacks. Just taking it down so it looks much more blended. And yeah, we could continue playing with this, of course. We could feather any of the masking, but I'm going to leave it at that. I'm just trying to show the use of our object masking tool here. So I think we've done that pretty well.